Welcome back, everyone. Well, no surprise, but Saratoga in particular in our region is a hub of so much activity. And when this pandemic hit, guess what? Saratoga was hit pretty hard. Looks like we might be coming out of it, right? Keep our fingers crossed. Changes week to week, but it looks like we are coming out of it. And I invited Darryl Leggieri, who is the president of Discover Saratoga, to join us today. Now, Darryl is the president and CEO of Discover Saratoga, and he knows, because he's got his finger on the pulse of conventions and all kinds of meeting activities and a connection to tourism. So with that said, here's Darryl. Hello, Darryl.
How you doing?
Good, fine, thank you. Notice how I didn't dip into the Bob Newhart thing there, just in case you wanted to know.
Killing me.
Thanks for doing that. So, Darryl, you and I knew each other in your former life in the hospitality industry. One could say that was really quite an education for the position that you hold right now. And
it definitely, there's a lot of transition there from working at the hotel level to tourism and meetings and events. Absolutely.
I've got it. Now, it's not exactly inherent in the name. And I think we both will admit, when you hear Discover Saratoga, that can mean any number of different things. But, I think most like a CVB, Convention and Visitor Bureau model. Now, would that be an accurate description?
Well, so our main function is to promote Saratoga Springs as a destination for anything group related, meetings, events, weddings, sporting events. So, and then we partner with our friends at the Saratoga County Chamber of Commerce, as they're the tourism promotion agency. They focus a lot on the leisure side, but there's a lot of overlap. We work together on many initiatives to make sure that we've got our branding on point and we can get visitors here to Saratoga, whether they're individual or whether they're with a group.
Well, you know what? One thing, and this is so true, is that, in trying to select a location for a meeting or for an event or for a convention, what the community offers in terms of entertainment and lifestyle is key. So I could totally understand where that overlap is. And I'm sure that when you talk to people, the idea that you can offer a lot of varied activities and places to go and things to see really adds value to some event planner trying to make that decision. In the beginning of the interview, I kind of said, we're maybe it's a light at the end of the tunnel. Now, you have to say that cautiously, of course, but are you seeing the same? And if so, what's it like talking to event planners? What are they saying to you?
They are optimistic, and we have been having conversations with them since this all happened over a year ago, right? And we had to move a lot of business off the books last year, and we've been in constant contact with them to keep moving events to farther out to make sure that it's the right time and that everybody feels safe to have a meeting. And right now our pace is high for the fall and for the winter and also for 2022. So a lot of them have kind of just moved everything down the line as much as they could. And now as the restrictions start to recede, we're seeing that meeting planners are eager to return to face-to-face meetings again.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'd say that what we need to do as an organization and as a community is show an ongoing commitment to health and safety as it relates to meetings. This is really going to be the key to the return of face-to-face meetings. And in Saratoga, we're doing everything to showcase meetings that are safe as well as productive. We even, as Discover Saratoga, we launched a Stay Safe pledge last year. It's been a year already, where we're inviting our tourism and hospitality businesses to commit to wearing masks, practicing physical distancing, and frequently washing and sanitizing hands to help Saratoga County safely reopen. So that is the biggest thing, because if they feel safe, then they're going to have the confidence to return and come and have their meetings with us.
You know what, that layer that you're just talking about, and I'm very aware of the initiatives, and you and Todd and a number of leaders in the community really understood the need to address that seriously and put some weight behind it. You know what I mean? It, as we were just talking a couple of minutes ago, it used to be, okay, I'd like to hold my event. Okay, I need to make certain that all the structural things are there in terms of space and technology and all the hotels and all that other stuff. But also, it's fun and I want to be in a community that's vibrant and whatever. Now you have this other layer of safety protocols. Do you find that the event planners are conscious of that? And where do they prioritize that when you talk to them? And how do you address it?
Oh my God, safety is paramount. That is the number one conversation that we're having right now. And it's up to our lodging partners and event venues to know the restrictions, right? Even though they keep changing all the time, but it's important for them. And they live it every day. They're in the trenches. And remember, our hotels and our lodging partners have been working with these restrictions since late or early last year. So it's going on a year since they were shut down and began to reopen again. So they know what they have to do, and they have been doing. In terms of cleanliness. I remember when I was in the hotel business, we used to have cleaning shifts at night so nobody could see when it was happening. But right now, you want to have cleaning in plain sight. You want folks to see that you're actually taking the protocol seriously. When it comes to events, are there buffets? There's probably not a lot of buffets going on right now. It's probably more plated meals or even packaged meals. These are the things that our event venues and our meeting planners and our hotel partners are working with every day. So it's something that they take very seriously, and that's what's going to translate to more business down the road. We even have this week at the City Center, we set up a mock trade show with Total Events, one of our partners, one of our members of Discover Saratoga. They do trade shows for a living as well as event decorating. But they were able to create a trade show floor plan that's set up right now for anyone to see. And it's 8 by 12 booths that are spacious. You have folks that are walking in one direction so that there's not a lot of crowding. And it's a way for us to invite and engage with meeting planners, invite them up and walk the space physically. And just a great chance to connect with them again, because we haven't seen some of them in such a long time. But these are some of the things that we're doing already to promote meetings and events, and really the 3-hour radius is still where we need to be, right? Meeting planners feel safe about driving still. It's the best mode of transportation where they feel safe. And we're 3 hours from New York City, from Boston, from the Syracuse area. So that's what we're trying. That's where we're marketing right now, and that's starting to bear fruit for the remainder of the year.
I've got it. Hey, with your influence and clout, do you think you could convince the airlines to leave the middle seat empty? just a thought.
I don't have that kind of juice, Jesse, that's for sure.
Hey, so with what you're saying, and of course your focus on all of the important priorities, what's a summer look like?
Well, this summer looks strong, and from a leisure standpoint, not so much on the meetings and event side. We are seeing some of that, some of the smaller meetings in nature, but leisure travel is going to be big this year. We've been working with Sarah Mannix from Mannix Marketing. They work with us on Saratoga.com. So we took some analytics and reviewed them. And there is strong demand right now, and we're pacing up in some timeframes even more than 2019 dates. And this is great news. This is going to be really important for us because we are going to have some semblance of a racing season. We feel like SPAC has already announced the ballet on a smaller scale, the Jazz Fest weekend on a smaller scale, perhaps. But these are good indicators for us that we will have strong demand in the summer months.
People have been such great innovators. You just happened to mention, I was thinking of SPAC, and all businesses rely on that interaction with the public, but especially venues, and just to see people be so proactive and so innovative in how they're putting the programming together. Leaving room for expansion, but at least getting that toehold and putting that footprint down again, it reassures people that there is probably light at the end of the tunnel, if you know what I mean. You probably already asked this. answered this question in terms of meetings and whatever. But to anyone that might be considering visiting our area, albeit for business purposes or for leisure activity, what are they looking for?
Yeah, we did a survey in partnership with Mannix Marketing, and the number one question that we saw was they want to know what's open. They want to know what can we do, right? And some of the top responses were just escaping crowds. They wanted a walkable downtown, and they wanted natural resources. When we surveyed them, 79% said they wanted shopping, downtown Saratoga Springs and boutique shops. We have that. 74% wanted horse racing and the Saratoga Casino harness track. We have that. 55% were looking for outdoor recreation like golfing, kayaking, boating, biking, hiking. And lastly, 51% said arts and culture like SPAC or UPH and Cafe Lena. They wanted museums, they wanted art galleries. And the beautiful thing about Saratoga Springs is that we have all of these assets. We don't have all of our eggs in one basket. There are so many things to do. And even with them trying to escape crowds, they can still escape into the state park or to the Saratoga Lake. I mean, there's so many options, which is great. And that's why they call us the small city in the country, right? We're not limited. We have so many cultural assets. We're so diverse that there is truly something for everyone, which is great.
You know what? And that sounds like such a generic thing, something for everyone, right? But it happens to be so true. We put our footprint down in Saratoga in 1975. I'm not sure you were born yet, by the way. But a couple of, I think you and Tom Wysocki were hanging out in the old, that's right, I remember that. But there was always an allure to Saratoga. History, horses, health, the 3 H's. And of course you add arts and culture on top of that.
Absolutely, and can't forget that, that's big.
Oh my God, yes. To me personally, the top of the list. But it's just really something to see. Well, Darryl, you and your team and associates have just done an amazing job at helping us all get through this, keeping your eyes focused on what's important and addressing the needs of people. That's so important, Darryl. And so hats off to you. And hopefully if there is this light at the end of the tunnel, that it's not a train coming at us and that we are actually going to get back to some sense of normalcy and some kind of new normal. And I want all our viewers to know that. And just remind our viewers that in terms of taking care of the priorities that we consider important, Saratoga's right on top of their game. So Darryl, thanks very much for taking the time. You got a minute to say anything in closing? You want to toss anything in there?
Well, I just say, Discover Saratoga plays a part in it, but I just think there's been so much collaboration over this past year to get our communities through this together. We coined the phrase stronger together in our community, and there is nothing more true, and now is the time to embrace the tremendous disruption that we've all experienced, and we'll get to the other side stronger together for sure. We have to move past these disruptions and innovate like never before. And I just want to say Saratoga Springs and Saratoga County, we're doing that, and we are open for business. We can't wait to welcome everybody and come out of this thing better for it.
Well said, my friend. Okay, it's good to check in with you. Thank you for taking the time, Darryl. And I look forward to seeing you in Uncommon Ground.
My pleasure.
Okay.
All right, good talking to you.
You as well.
Take care, Jeff.
Later.
All right, bye-bye.